Hi everyone, Jaymes Mansfield here, and we're doing an emergency bad horror movie review. Well, sort of bad. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm kind of indifferent. I watched Somewhere Quiet today. This movie left me wanting more, but not in like the best kind of way. It's more just like, okay, but can you explain a little bit more? Honestly, like if you weren't paying like razor sharp close attention to this movie, you were gonna miss so many key details. Again, so here's the thing. The premise is our lead has recently survived being kidnapped. So she decides, as a way to work through this trauma, as Jamie Lee Curtis would say, they decide to take, a spell up to a cabin in her husband's secluded cabin in the woods that I guess his prominent family owns. And they established really early on, like the husband's family was like really, really wealthy at some time and they owned all the land at one point and then sold it all off. Like again, like so many key details were like given to you, like just in rapid fire dialogue that you might miss if you weren't paying close attention, which I did for the most part because I was on my phone, which is generally
not the way you're supposed to watch movies, but
I'm gonna do me, okay? So, our protagonist lady, she is basically working through it, okay? And this whole movie cannot decide what it wanted to be. I'm just like, is it supernatural? Is it a thriller?
Is it all in her head?
I don't know. And apparently she's being stalked by some kooky, crazy old lady who's just out there being a colorful character in the woods, not dying from exposure or anything. She's out at all hours of the night, okay? Who's watching this woman? Suddenly, her husband's cousin shows up, and I just started referring to her as Big Red. I don't know her name, but she was showing up uninvited and just being so annoying. Like, she's always the person that shows up and suddenly she wants to play charades. And it's like,
no one invited you. Get out of my house.
Or like, they overstay their welcome and they expect you to just invite them to dinner. But like the nonchalant way is like, oh, darn. No, no. What annoyed me the most is like the second time she shows up, she brings an uncooked eggplant, like a full like raw eggplant, right? And gives it to our lead and says, here, start preparing that. To her, and she thankfully takes it and says, oh, no, I already cooked dinner. And like, who the hell does that? That bothered me so much for an undisclosed reason. I think it's because I already sweated like cooking dinner and you're just going to barge in on my plans. Oh no, bitch, get off my threshold. All right. Yeah. She bothered me a lot. And she kept talking in a way that like her cadence really bothered me too, where it's just like, the way she talks, everything sounds like she has an ulterior motive. Like, try less to be suspicious. It wasn't subtle. She sounded a bit like Samantha from Sex and the City, only not quite as fabulous. Like, Carrie. Everything she says has a tang of suspicion. And again, certain things would happen like where if you weren't paying razor sharp attention, you'd miss key details. And she slips up because like our lead basically money shames her husband because he comes from a wealthy, prominent family. And she came into wealth recently because her parents had passed, right? And they left her like a huge inheritance, which is like, oh, being the true crime girly that I am, it's like suspicion. The minute you hear like, a huge settlement, someone's planning to kill her. And that's the whole rest of the movie is she crazy? Is she being gaslit? Is there ghosts? Is there a dog? There was a dog. And if you're one of those people that doesn't, want to watch a movie where a dog gets it, don't watch this one. I'll tell you right now, the dog doesn't make it. Not to summarize this movie too much, because again, I'm going to go into spoiler territory. So if you don't want to like have it spoiled for you, tune out now and pop back in, okay? Come revisit me. But we're getting into it, okay? Because the ending of this was silly. Now, this whole time she's been wanting to leave because she's not happy there. Like, she's breaking shit. She's broken like 4 dishes, right? And like one dish she breaks ends up in the garbage of the cousin's house. So like she's keeping it as proof as like a souvenir so that she knows she's not crazy. And she eventually gets all Scooby-Doo with it, like Nancy Drew. She can see around corners suddenly. She's investigating, all right? She investigates and finds like conservatorship papers, which I didn't even realize at first until I like rewound back and like read what it said. I just saw that she discovered papers, so it could be anything for all I know. It could be a job application for Taco Bell. I have no idea. But I had to like scroll back to find out and have it explained to me, okay? You gotta pay attention. Pay attention. So she gets confronted by Big Red, and Big Red is like full in. She's like full gaslit at this point. She's like,
oh, no. You're crazy, girl. You're acting nuts. You were kidnapped. You're not over it. You need to get...
That's the other thing. The way they kept talking to her after she's like dealing with trauma, it's just like the worst way to talk to anyone that just dealt with something super traumatic is they keep like, telling her, you are fine, you are freaking out. Like, it's okay, we get it. Like, girl, they want to kill you. And any actions you take at this point, girl, I understand. Like the grand finale is basically, here's the other thing. They took so many breaks for like artistic shots that were like out of nowhere. And like she'd like wake up suddenly and like her husband would sleepwalk or she would sleepwalk. There was so much happening. This movie had a tone problem. It didn't quite know what it wanted to be, and that was bothering me. I'm just like, just find something. The conclusion bothered me because it ends up being the husband and the cousin. They end up screwing. What? They're not cousins. She's just some chick that he ended up being with for the whole month she was gone. He didn't even look for her. Like he took a spell to his cabin and didn't even get the first ransom note until a month later. So immediately she's pissed off, right? So she ends up shooting her husband because she finds out he has been gaslighting her. And she bludgeons Big Red to death with a stick or something. I don't think she died. She was tied to a pole in a cellar, so she probably died there. The dog ended up getting run over by a motorcycle. It was a lot. A lot happened. And then when she shoots her husband, she falls back and suddenly she's in the ocean. There was a lot happening here. And I swear to God, I was paying attention. Now, here's the thing. What this movie was missing and what I feel like it truly, truly needed that would have just like put it together for me was, again, if you're going to go this kind of like weird Lifetime movie, big reveal, how dare you, how could you kind of thing, just give us the big reveal payoff. Like, it's okay to like give us an ending. It was open-ended again. I'm just like, why are we doing this? Are we still doing this? It's such lazy filmmaking. Like, just give me a reasoning. Like, oh, sorry, Billy. I didn't mean to smack you like that. I'm so sorry, Billy. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. You hate me.
I didn't do it on purpose.
You did it on purpose.
I did not do it on
You
calm
hate
down.
me.
Okay, so again, if you're gonna do this whole like, how could you thing, just give us the big campy Lifetime reveal. Like, give us the villain speech. It's a more satisfying payoff rather than just like, I'm not going to answer anything because I didn't think that much about this. Literally, it felt like someone went to Cape Cod and decided to make a movie with their friends. That's what I was getting from this. It felt a bit, like...
You know what would be crazy? Let's make a movie about gaslighting. Wouldn't that be crazy? Let's do that. That'd be fun.
That's what I got from this movie. All in all, I did enjoy it. Like, our lead actress was killing it. Like, she was giving a performance. And the husband, I was kept on the fence of like, is he hot? I can't decide. But then he was a gaslighter, so it's like, no, he's not hot. Or maybe he is. I don't know. Depends what mood I'm in. And Big Red was there, and I didn't like the way she was acting. Like, she was giving me a bit like Mia Goth vibes in that one movie, the skin pool or whatever, where she's just, you're doing a lot right now. Okay, let's dial it back. Yes, and that was Someplace Quiet or Somewhere Quiet, whatever it's called. That was this movie. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I enjoyed it up to a point, but the ending, again, it's like a Stephen King novel. It's like, oh God, here we are again. Yeah, the ending could have been much better, but other than that, the buildup was kind of there, but again, nothing really happens in it. That's also another problem I had. Nothing really happened. Like, I sat there for an hour and some change, and very little suspense really happened. This was Someplace Quiet or Somewhere Quiet. Whatever. This was this movie. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys want to watch it, by all means do it. Again, like, it will hold your gaze. But again, there weren't any gays in it either. That also could have helped it. Gays would have really helped. Gays would have told her she's being gaslit. Where was the gay friend? Oh my God, that would have really helped. Like, girl.
Your husband is gaslighting you.
It needed that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you saw this movie, let me know what you think. Am I being a little harsh? Did I miss something? Because I miss things quite often. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.